So, how can we build a brighter future, right? Because we talk a lot about the issues and we talk a lot about how we got AI coming in right now. I'm seeing a ton of stuff about AI on X and on Instagram, like all these articles coming out, these news stories about how, oh, a bunch of the workforce, according to Elon Musk and Bill Gates, is going to be cut by like more than 50% just in the next 10 years. Stuff like that, how AI is going to, Elon Musk talks about how it's going to be implemented in us. 6G is essentially going to be technology that somehow, some way goes inside of us and we could see it, the lenses of it. I don't know how to describe it. It's going to be like a hologram. So instead of FaceTiming someone through your smartphone, it's going to be like we're really right next to each other, except we can't actually feel each other, but it's going to look like we're right next to each other. And who knows, maybe they'll get technology where they can mimic the sensations in the brain, they'll say, right, with the stuff they can do of, um, we can, scientists discovered, experts said, because it's always experts said, right, that they found a way to mimic the feeling of touch by activating certain sensors in the brain without you actually being with someone. Well, wouldn't that be great news, right? Everything is just becoming artificial, right? We live in this artificially manufactured matrix, right? That it gets worse every year. I mean, each year you see the demoralization and the spiritual bankruptcy here in the United States. You have to be very blind not to see that. And we are coming to a point where we're going to be fully enslaved with artificial intelligence. You see, artificial intelligence isn't going to be, it's not going to kill us all. Maybe it will, who knows? But that's not their goal necessarily, is to kill every single person, because they want to have fun with us. They want to have fun. They want to enslave us. They want to dictate our reality. They want to control our breeding. They want to control what goes into our body. They want to control the flow of information. They want control because these people are psychopaths who are in power that we're dealing with. And I'm not talking about Donald Trump or Kamala Harris or Joe Biden or Barack Hussein Obama, because, yeah, those people play a part in it, obviously. But it goes way deeper than those people. Yeah, we could talk about the international bankers, right? Like Rothschild, the Rockefellers, and those people, Vanderbilts, the Kennedys, and all of them, who the J.P. Morgans, who got themselves involved in banking a long time ago. And really, if we're being realistic about it too, money is one of the biggest ways that we're enslaved. The belief in it. It's just a belief. That's all money is. If you think about it, all money is a belief system. Everything is a belief system. The belief that a guy who puts a police military uniform on and a badge has authority over you and can shoot you because he thinks that you're causing a crime, or because you're smoking pot, he can arrest you and ruin your chances of getting jobs in the future, right? You see, we have a lot of work to do, people. And how do we possibly build a better future when people don't care? That's the issue, is people are ignorant, right? They don't care. They're ignoring the problems at hand. They think it's going to go away. People think that if they vote for a certain politician, if they get a certain guy in power, something's going to change. And listen, there might be little wins here and there for the people, where they might let us have some things. They have to let us have our fun and entertainment. This can't be a full-on dictatorship. Otherwise, people are going to wake up and be like, oh, wait, isn't this what happened, in the past with a certain group of people, where they claim 6 million of them died and all that, and it's also the same certain group that you shouldn't talk about, and the same group, that ever since October 2023 has been in the news a lot lately and talks about WW3. You know what I'm talking about, right? The JQs, come on. The good old-fashioned JQs that are getting blamed practically for everything right now, right? And it goes deeper than the JQs, and we need to know this as truthers, that it goes deeper than politics, obviously. That's super obvious, but it goes deeper than just the bankers. Um, it goes deeper than the Zionists and all those people, because what people need to understand is, yes, the Zionists are involved, the Freemasons are involved, the Jesuits are involved, whatever, satanic occult secret society, yeah, they're all involved. But what they have us doing is blaming particular groups, right? We blame the JQs. We see a really big blame on black people now, going on as well, and just other races in general, the immigration that was going on with Muslims and Spanish people. And I get it. Like, some of the immigration was legitimate. They obviously put people here, but it was deliberate. It was to destroy the USA, yeah, because that's part of dismantling a country is taking down its culture and force diversity. But it wasn't just about that. It was so that people who lean on the red team could say, "Oh, well, I don't want illegals here because they might kill me or rape me or do something crazy to me. So I'm okay with the digital ID system, and I'm okay with being tracked and traced under the guise of making sure people are legal and illegal in this country." Because we see it already, the psyops with the illegal immigrant stuff. We're not going to get into that. I'm just trying to get you to see the bigger picture of where things are going. Because right now it's the red team, as I've been saying, pretty much since the beginning of the year. I've been saying that the red team right now is the one that's getting worked. The red team, the liberals, the blue team, they're on board. They will do what the TV says as long as it's coming from the blue team. And now, because as long as it's Donald Trump's digital ID and not Joe Biden's or not Kamala Harris's or not the blue team's digital ID, and it's not the blue team's track and tracing system, and it's not the blue team's vaccine, right? It's because we trust the red team. So it's a giant sport. It's a giant WWE script that we see going on in front of us because people just can't grow up. They can't see past the politics. And not only just that, people can't get over themselves. People are obsessed with themselves and are so selfish that they, I don't have time for it, this and that. People make time for what they like. Peer into someone's life, peek into their life, and you'll see what they make time for. But if you mention someone, right, that needs to go to the gym, for example, well, I don't got time for it, man. I work, 50 hours a week. Guess what? I work 40 hours a week. There's plenty of people I know that work 40 to 60 hours a week and go to the gym, right? I've been going to the gym for 12 years. It's a lifestyle. I don't make an excuse. Am I perfectly consistent? Do I skip a day? Obviously, that happens. I'm not perfect. But the point is that I don't stop going for months on end or give up on it. And it's the same thing with truth. It's the same thing with learning what's reality, because people will say, your content's not my thing. Maybe you don't like my delivery. Maybe my delivery sucks. Maybe I suck as a content creator. But I think what they're really saying is, I don't want to acknowledge what you're saying because that means I have to look at myself. That means I got to take responsibility. That means I got to change. That means that I'm going to have to endure suffering from other people looking at me weird, people looking at me differently, people making fun of me, talking about me behind my back, maybe not going to certain events like you used to. You're going to look at the entire world differently once you go down the rabbit hole, and especially once you accept it as truth. Because if you look at truth and you still deny it, you're just in denial. Excuse me. You're just in denial. You don't want to acknowledge it. There's no way you can look at the world's issues today and say that things are coincidence, or you can't say that if we don't stop it, it's just going to get worse, because every year proves to us it's not getting better. We're getting screwed financially, the people, right? Listen, I know the excuse, well, Trump has only been in for 6 months, you got to give him time. Listen, excuse me. I'm not waiting for a politician, because anytime a politician's mouth is moving, they're lying. It's really that simple. Their goal is to make the rich more rich and to make the poor more poor. And you're not part of the rich, even if you make $1 million a year. Unless you're part of that secret club, you don't have insider trade secrets, and you don't really know what's going on. So I don't know why, I don't know. People just want to ignore the issues. There's a lot of people out there who have money and resources and really could do something because of the resources they have, but choose to be ignorant. And again, a lot of people, there's a lot of reasons why people aren't being responsible and growing up, and they keep falling for these deceptions, and that's why we're about to be enslaved. But people need to get over themselves. That's something in 2025 that I really came to terms with, not only with myself, but with other people. I realized that, one, okay, I just have to, stop feeling bad for myself and just do what I got to do. Because all I can really do, even though this is a lonely world, especially as a truther in a cruel world, like me just sitting and dwelling on it isn't going to make anything better. So all I can do is be the change that I want to see, because me being the change I want to see gives me purpose. And seeing other people say that they feel motivated or they like what I say, you know, I don't expect someone to hear me and believe me or just change right away. I expect people to do their own research, but that's the issue is people won't do their own research because people will say they don't have time. But really what it comes down to is people don't want to look within themselves because they can't get over themselves. They think that their problems are so bad, excuse me, and their problems are so big that they just can't do anything. They don't got time. But there's a lot. These issues are way bigger than me and you. Listen, I feel lonely as a guy because, you know, I live on my own, right? There's the male loneliness epidemic or whatever. I'm going through it, right? I'm in my late 20s. I'm single. Like, totally get it. But I could sit here and feel sorry for myself and feel like I'm some sort of victim when really, in reality, besides these little small problems in my life, I've lived and I'm still living a good life. And I want things to be better because I don't want to be enslaved. I'm enjoying right now that I'm able to talk on YouTube and they're not completely censoring the shit out of us. Not saying that there's not censorship, because of course there is. But they're giving us a grace period right now where I think they want to hear what we have to say. You know how what they do. They sometimes they don't censor so that they hear what we have to say on the subject. So they can pivot and plan their next moves accordingly. But the problems at hand are much bigger than our petty issues, and this is why I always say, like, we need to get over ourselves. We need to stop feeling sorry for ourselves, and we need to stop feeling like we're victims. Because the truth is, yeah, we are all victims to our own circumstances to an extent. But a lot of us, and especially the people I know personally, the people I'm around, because I live here in New Jersey, decently wealthy state in a decently wealthy area. You know, it's not like a rich area, but it's like a safe area. You know, it's a rural farmland area right here in Jersey. Which, mind you, a lot of corporations are coming here, taking up farmland and building these quote-unquote affordable housing, even though they're like 2 bedrooms for like $3,500 a month. Like, people have that money. And I'm sorry to digress so much. I'm sorry that I always digress, but I try to get you to see the bigger picture and how things interconnect. But to answer what I said in the very beginning of this video, what can we do to build a brighter future? We need to get over ourselves. We need to do what's right. We need to take responsibility. We need to be disciplined. We have to dig into truth. Real truth. We have to dig into it on a daily and weekly basis. Maybe you could listen. It's got to be like you're training in the gym or something, man, or you're training for a sport or something where you don't got to train like every single day of your life, but train a couple days a week. Train your brain. This is about exercising your brain. And I know we got short attention spans in today's world. My attention span is bad. But I think if someone like me with a really bad attention span who was in special ed my whole K through 12 career, whatever, I think a lot of people who are much smarter than me and doing much better than me financially, I should say, could figure these things out and really pivot to make change. Because that's what it's all about. It's about looking within yourself. It's not about getting angry at the powers that be and blaming them or blaming certain groups of people or even outsourcing your life through religion and through Jesus Christ or whoever. It's not about that. It's not about religion and having an external savior. It's about making real change here and now. It's about looking within ourselves, changing ourselves, and trying to create positive change in this world. And that's all we could do. And listen, I could sit here all day talking about the issues and what I think we could possibly do to fix it. But I'm not trying to make long videos because, listen, I got to put these things on the screen here, right, so that people could focus on what I'm saying if they're watching it. Maybe they're just listening. But anyway, I think I said enough in this video here. My point is that with artificial intelligence coming, I mean, it's here, but with the development of it and billionaires talking about, I mean, they've been talking about it for a while, about how it's going to take over our jobs, it might kill us, we should be worried about it, even though it's so funny how in one breath they say it's going to destroy us, and then in the next breath they say, oh, it's great, it's gonna cure blindness and sick people, and they have all these justifications for why it's gonna be here, and people will accept the justifications like they always do from the government and these billionaires that for some reason people trust, which is beyond me. Again, I always say that it's amazing that it's 2025 and people still trust politicians and think voting is going to make a difference in this world. I mean, again, it goes back to people outsourcing their responsibility to someone that's their own. Like, it's your responsibility to protect yourself, to create change. It's not someone else's. Just like it's your responsibility to do your due diligence, not just trust what I say, of course, but look into it. And if you disagree, then you should really be looking into it, because most people disagree with what I say. But they just say they disagree because, right, they don't like how I deliver it. They don't like how it makes them feel. So they just dismiss it because it makes them feel a certain way. So let me know what you guys think. I said enough here. My voice is not fully 100% from being sick, but it's almost there. It's at 93%, let's say. But let me know what you guys think. Please like, subscribe, comment, and send me emails. Let me know what's going on in you guys' life. If there's anything you guys want to talk about.